Hi, good day everyone, and welcome back to this channel. Today we are going to be starting a series on QGIS, and I've titled it Mastering QGIS from Beginner to Advanced in 15-minute lessons. Please don't let the 15 minutes confuse you. It's not that I will master QGIS from beginners to advanced in 15 minutes, but the series will be in 15-minute video. That's how we have scheduled this series to be. So I'm going to be introducing you to QGIS in this phase. So, what is GIS itself before we go into QGIS? GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and it is a system. When it says system, that it comprises of so many things. So it comprises of data, expertise, software, hardware, all to capture, to store, to analyze, and to display spatial data. So if we want to define GIS in simple terms, we just say it's a system that allows the capturing, the storing, and analyzing, then displaying or dissemination of spatial data. So it helps us to work with any data that has geographic components. That is any data that has locational component like maps, like satellite images, and even databases. We can use GIS there. And its application ranges from physical planning to construction to boundary demarcation to mapping and all that. So the application of GIS is endless. You just have to look at your field and see how you can incorporate locational data there, and GIS will work with you. Now, what is QGIS in itself? QGIS is a GIS software. It started as Quantum GIS and it was released in 2002. It is one of the most widely used GIS software in the world. And if you are saying why QGIS, there are other GIS software. Why we are going for QGIS is because it is one of the most widely used GIS platform. The second one is that it is completely free and open source. That means you don't have to pay anybody to download or to use it. You can download, use, and modify it without buying anything, without buying license. QGIS offer professional level tools for spatial data analysis, cartography, geoprocessing, and more. That is, think of anything that you want to do with GIS. QGIS has something to help you with it, and it is compatible with many data formats, and it works on many operating systems. Some will say, I'm using Mac, I'm using Linux, I'm using Windows. QGIS will work with any of those. It is highly favored by professionals. It is completely free, and it is accessible to students and researchers, and it is user friendly also. You can use it for everything from basic mapping and to complex spatial analysis. Plus, the huge community of QGIS, can just search on YouTube anywhere QGIS. At least you find something or somebody that has done something around what you're talking about before. So QGIS is a robust community, and there are so many other GIS softwares. I have the ArcGIS, I have the QGIS, Global Mapper, EDAS Imagine, Grass GIS, Saga GIS. These are all GIS softwares. But what makes QGIS unique is that number one, it is open source, it is free, and that's why I'm encouraging students and researchers to tap into it. QGIS is very fine. So how are we going to get our QGIS? That's what I'll be covering next, and that is by going to their website, QGIS.org. So I'm coming to my QGIS.org. This is QGIS.org. This is the page. If your page is not looking like this, you don't have any issues at all. Just that it is a web page, so they are upgrading it, they are designing new interface and all that. So all you have to do is just click on download or click on download here. I'm going to click on download here. So yes, this is where we are now. So before download starts, they are encouraging you that you can donate to them, but it's not a must to donate before you can download it. You can skip this and just go to download. So I'm going to click on it. Now there are many versions but any version you have to work from 3.3 and above to work for what we are doing. So the current version is 3.38 and was released on 13th of September 2024. And the long-term build currently is 3.34. So I will advise you download the long-term build and not the latest, because the long-term build has been is stable and people have been using it over time. All the errors must have been reported and have been standardized, unlike the latest version that people are still reviewing and all that. So I will go for the long-term version for Windows. I'm using Windows. If you are using any other version, you can just come to it, Mac, and like this. So I'm using Windows. I'm going to click on long-term version. So you can see it's downloading already. I've actually downloaded it before, so I'm going to pause the download, and close it. Then we are going to launch our QGIS. I'm launching my QGIS 3.36 maiden head. To install QGIS is quite easy and straightforward. It's open source, so there's no need of paying or licensing part of it. Just install and just follow the on-screen command, the on-screen instructions, and believe me, it is easy and straightforward to install and to work with. That is one of the advantages of using QGIS. And after you have successfully installed, you can launch it. It might take a little while before it's launched, that being the first time it's launching. So now that we have installed and opened our QGIS, your interface will look something like this. No, though not necessarily cumbersome like my own. I've added so many plugins and panels and tools to my QGIS, but you are going to see your layer, your browser, and not necessarily data sort here. I'm going to close my data sort. You're not going to see data sort when you open yours. You are going to see processing tools. So processing toolbox. Okay, this is what you are going to see, and you're not seeing this how to bring it out. Processing and toolbox. So this is the Canva page, and this is your layer. This is where your data are arranged in the order of appearance, and this is your browser where you go to your computer to go and look for your data and all that. So the first thing I want to be doing is I want to import my map, my vector data. So I'm coming to layer, I'm coming to add layer, and I'm selecting add vector layer. Now this is vector layer. Mind you, QGIS has the ability to add so many layers. We have the raster layer, we have mesh, point cloud, delimited text, and so on and so forth. Even database, you can see PostgreSQL, MySQL server, Microsoft SQL server rather, Oracle, and all that. So we are going to our vector data, click on these three icons, and I know my vector data is in document. I've saved it in my document, and it's NGA admin 1. So I'm going to click on it. I'm not going to allow all this alone. I'm going to come here and select S3 shapefile. So these are the shapefiles I have here. I'm going to drop the link on how to get these three in the description of the video. So I'm going to add these three. You're not going to see all these ones there because they were generated later. I'm going to click open, and I'm going to add, then close. And if you look at this, you can see that this is a map of a country, and this is Nigeria. So this is map of Nigeria and all the local government. That's the ngAdmin2, and if I off the checkbox, you can see this is map of Nigeria also, but only the states. And if I check that one too, you will see that this is map of Nigeria alone, only the boundary of Nigeria. So how the layer works is that anyone that is up, the topmost layer will be on, will be the one you are going to see on your screen. I'm going to drag this ngAdmin2 down, and you're going to be seeing admin1 alone now. Can you see? So anyone that is on top, that's what will show on your Canva. So I'm going to deselect this, and I'm going to deselect this. So basically what we want to do today is we just want to put all the states here. We want to show all the state the name of all the states. So the first thing you need to do is come to the ngAdmin1. This is the name. You can rename it as you like. I'm going to rename it by right clicking, and I'm going to say rename layer. I'm going to call it Nigerian states. So then I'm going to right click again, come to show labels. Now when I ask it to show labels, it's showing that Nigeria for everything. So how am I supposed to know, how am I supposed to name each state the correct way? When this vector layer was added, vector layer, it has its own attribute data, that is the data that are related to this vector data. So if you right click and you open attribute table, this attribute table, you're going to see some information here. You can see ID _0, ISO, name 0, ID1, name 1. You can see that name 0 shows everything is Nigeria, while name 1 shows that the correct name of each state. So that means that the label that we show is being shown by name 0. So whereas we need to change it to name 1. So to do that, we have to close this. It's not a must to close actually. Then come to right click again, come to properties. When you click on properties, it might take a while before it loads. Then this is my property. Then come to label. There are so many information here in these properties that we are going to explore during the course of this series. So you can see single label. Yeah, we are labeling by single value. So, and you can see the value here is name 0, just like I said the other time. So we are going to change it to name 1. Then we are going to click on, I want to change the text, but let's apply first. You can see this is Borno, and this is Adamawa, and this is water body. This water body is around Lake Chad. So I want to change the font type. Just come here, just change it to, let's say, Tahoma. I like Tahoma, Helvetica. Let me apply and see how it looks like. Yeah, this is nice. I don't want it to be bold, and I want to increase it a little bit. So I can come here and increase it, the size to 12. Yes, it is nice. I want to change the color. It's okay too, but right now I'm just going to click OK, and you can see these are Nigerian states, and these are the name of those states. FCTs here. So as you zoom in and zoom out to see it, and peradventure you are zooming to somewhere and you want to bring it back to your screen, just come to the layer here, right click on the data and click on zoom to layer. You can see to bring it back to your screen. And this is the end of the first video in our Mastering QGIS series. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.